Okay, I should be live right now. All right, 1 second. I'll open the stream up on my laptop. Oh, it has not loaded yet. I did just go live, right? Okay, volume levels sound good. They sound pretty good. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself real quick on my own tab because that sounds hella trippy. Hello, Niji Fan. Hello, Lundoga. Nice to see you. Before we start talking about our main subject matters, I don't know, some things to catch up. First of all, does the BGM sound good? Just confirm for me, guys, if you can, whether I should increase the volume or not. It is the TGS anime lo-fi that he uploaded, so I forgot to post the link in chat, but shit. Yeah, that's what I use. Just let me know whether it works. I assume Niji Fan Ian is you, Fairchild. It is nice to see you here for sure. All good? Okay, nice. I'm gonna increase the volume just a wee bit. I do have everything loaded up, but I guess just some things to talk about. Maybe first of all, my voice probably sounds a bit weird. So I got some aligners done recently, and they hurt like all hell. It sucks ass, but I'm trying to get used to it, so I might sound really weird. My fuzz is a bit weird. Not, okay, that's you, Fairshot, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and increase the, volume. Hopefully that's better. That should be good, no? That should be good enough. But yeah, my point being, yeah, my voice is gonna sound really fucking weird for the next few days until I get kind of used to this. So, oh boy. Bro, at some point they sawed some of my teeth apart because they were kind of stuck together. It hurt like hell, man. But regardless, things happened. I'll get used to it, and yeah, there's not much else to really talk about. Shit, I should get the capture ready. But yeah, otherwise I should. Ah, shit, I don't have ad block on, and yeah, the pop-ups are gone. Pog. Okay, dubs, we get them. All right, so I guess let's just stop, you know, dilly-dallying around. Let's get to the actual stuff. I'm gonna go to my main screen, and shit, 1 second. I should get closer, and I should also window capture. I haven't done that yet. Give me a second, people. I didn't set this up immediately. Let me just, okay. That's good. Let's not capture cursor and increase the size. Again, slightly scuff, whatever. Huh, wait a second. What the hell? Why is it not full? Oh, because it's specifically only the window. I see. That's dumb. What the fuck? I'm gonna go ahead and just display capture instead. So give me a sec real quick, people. I swear to God, it'll be faster. Display capture, yep. And no, that is the wrong display. That is the right display. And my camera's here. Okay. Everything should be good now. So I guess we can talk about this. I will zoom in, just because it is a wee bit small, but we finally got an announcement. So I expected this to come yesterday, that we were gonna get some new cards, because, well, I thought last time they came around the 6th or something, and then the actual update came on the 8th. Leaked. Oh no, not my wait, what was I watching? Hold up, what got leaked? Oh no, not the fact that I bookmarked some GPUs. Oh no, cringe. Oh nay, I have been revealed. Oh no. But getting back to the topic of actual leaks now, I expected this announcement to come like yesterday, but oh well, we got it now, which is nice. It's nice. We at least have some juice to work with. Yeah, at least have some new content. And there are still some things I'm expecting that I think you guys should know about for the future metagame. But let's just go over this very briefly. So we have this pack, and if you didn't know, I'm gonna go ahead and open up a new tab and whip out the leaks from like a while ago. But the leaks that were Okay, piss off. The leaks that were for August. I mentioned this in my branded, the branded engine video, which you should check out later on, by the way. I mentioned that we are going to get 2 packs. They mentioned that they were going to get 2 packs, right? If this will load for some reason. Well, I'm on Ethernet, man. I have fast as fuck speed. What's going on here? Ayo? It's kind of sus. Please piss off. Yeah. No, that is not this right here. So the leaks where we got all of this shit, if it's gonna load, if the sprites will load, I should probably close my regular tabs too. So I'll do that right now. I have a bunch of anime that I was trying to watch, but I just forgot to. Man, can the sprites load? Christ on a stick, man. Hold up. Yeah, give it a second or something, but basically, my point is, in this pack, right, we got a bunch of stuff leaked. We got the Dino Morbius pack that we did get, and it was kind of meh. Guardian Chimera is still really fun, and he will become more meta relevant. I will explain why. We got some of these. I think these are just filler packs for new events, right? And all that stuff. And we also had leaked to us later some potential new packs, all right? Ignore the lack of sprites. Well, we got 2. We had Cosmic Ocean, and we had the Newborn Dragon. Now, for Cosmic Ocean, because it's A, the weaker of the packs, and B, it came first on this page, and let's be honest, a lot of people consider Master Duel meta to be gospel, including me. I check the website like every day, right? We assumed that this would be first. And the reason why we're assuming this is because for the previous packs, we would always have the alternation of like something really shit and then something really good, right? It would alternate. Not that we get 2 pretty dank packs back to back, because despite how I like when my cards are empty. Cards empty, mind empty, head empty. That's how it is, you know, as a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I try to play combo decks, but in realism, I'm just yes clicking, honestly. But basically, what was I saying? Oh no. I hope the new Burns' boss monster would come out first. I actually did too. Saved up 9k for nothing. I mean, you haven't saved it up for nothing, because if you do have other decks that could benefit from it, you could use the branded engine. Of course, if, you know, branded fusion is really expensive, maybe not. But otherwise, you could still do something with it. But even though that's that, I'm still really excited for Cosmic Ocean. It's just not coming up now, which I'm actually fine with. Because this new pack, honestly, it's going to shake things a lot more in ladder, which is where everyone plays, and is where at least like a quarter of the players are playing some sort of meta relevant stuff, right? Or trying out new cards. So I'm kind of happy that this pack isn't coming first, but I do play Marenses. So not getting the new stuff really sucks. And to explain how Marenses works for non-Marenses players, is basically take prank kits, but make him an anime deck, make him slightly weaker, give him one card combo, which is not the best, but then have a bunch of 2-card combos, and give him a towers that is a big boss monster, basically. And we got a bunch of new stuff. We have the other Link 4 that you could make, which basically lets you negate a spell trap. The other one allowed you to draw on both players' standby phases, so you could accrue a lot of advantage, right? And there's also a Link 3 that lets you search for the trap that's basically Imperm on steroids, which can activate itself from the hand if you control Link 3 from the archetype. And also we do have some extenders. So that's what's coming there, as well as some other like stuff that you don't care about. Ice Jades, I'm looking forward to. But pretty much Adagnister with waifus, but worse. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, take Adagnisters, make them non-villains and whatever. Maxi is the only card that matters. You know what? When you're playing a combo deck, it's all that matters. You draw it, maybe it's good, but if your opponent draws it, you just lose. You just lose, deadass. I didn't know you looked into the game, by the way, Fairchild. Maybe you just saw how people were bitching about Maxi, because to be fair, people still do that really often. But yeah, pretty much, that's the whole gist of it. So again, we all expected this to come first, because it is the weaker of the packs, but still has some support. Because here's the thing, while Marincess isn't a tiered deck, it's still a pretty competent rogue deck, especially with this support. With this support, it actually did get a good number of tops in the TCG, which is what we're using as a metric. And because, okay, I'm not sure what the difference between the TCG and the Master Duel would be. That would give it. Oh, you know Maxi from Rosemi. Oh, I see the clip. I think I remember the clip, Fairchild. Yeah, she just like walked away for like 10 minutes and the dude was still comboing. And she lost because of drawing out. That was funny. God, that was hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, fuck. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Again, I'm gonna do this a lot, apologies. But oh yeah, Marincess actually did get a bunch of representation in TCG. I don't know about OCG or Master Duel and whether things would change then, or whether it's just a player preference thing, but Marincess, genuinely, it's really cheap too. Like, you barely run any ultras. The only ultras you really run are the Universal Cyber Searcher, so that's really good. And this comes with the Ice Jades, which initially when released were really shit, but now they're gonna become like a pretty decent like package or engine for water decks, just to gain a lot of advantage and stuff. And similarly, like how you use the Adventure Engine to get things like Draco back. Okay, that's not the primary reason why, but you get Draco back with the Adventure Engine. I think one of the cards you get with the Ice Jades is basically that. Ice Jade Creation Kingfisher. So you can target a water monster, you equip this card from your hand. Ayo, this thing is literally Draco back. This thing is literally Draco back. And while it's equipped to a monster, you can target a monster your opponent controls attack less than or equal to the equipped monster and return it to hand. Yeah, it's basically Draco back, but a monster, right? And you can search it out really easily and do all this cool stuff with Ice Jades. And we're also getting Eagle, which I believe is a searcher. We're gonna get a field spell, I believe, which just lets you add anything. It's really powerful, really good and stuff. It's really nice for things like Paleofrogs, I think. I know that's what they play in. I look forward to maybe playing Penguins with Ice Jades. So some people were looking forward to this coming, but honestly, I'm more happy that Branded is coming because we're gonna get a bit more of a shake-up, right? And I always keep track of the tournaments, or at least see what's topping. So while I can't call off the top of my head, I can still kind of understand whether decks are good or not just by glancing at the tournament standings, and this is going to spice things up a lot, which is always welcome. And because Branded can be splashable in a lot of different things, I'm curious to see how exactly the Branded engine is going to be used. And honestly, Mirror Jade is so much more balanced than just Griffin Rider Draco back, so I think it'd be really interesting to see how it plays out, right? So there's that, but we're instead getting this pack, and I covered it in another video that I made really recently as well. I'm going to be saying that a lot. I'm basically plugging my entire channel at this point. Go check that stuff out if you haven't already, by the way, after the stream's done, basically. Ice Jade Penguins are so fun. I wish the Penguins weren't in Legacy packs. I actually kind of like that they're in Legacies. Except for Penguin Brave, I would like to pull Penguin Grave. I really like Penguins. I haven't really played them, but the deck's theory is so cool. Honestly, it validates Hulk. Like, Hulk, I'm okay with, because Penguins make Hulk, like, really funny, right? It's not, like, broken. Just ban Auroradon, basically. That's what I'm saying, right? Penguins are just based. Like, the Hulk lines I can think of with, like, Desert Locusts and stuff, they're super interesting to think of. Just loop your opponent, make them book, and some really interesting forms of disruption that we don't see normally. That's really fun, right? To me, at least. But on with the actual topic. We're getting this pack, and this is the pack that got announced like 3 hours ago or something in game in Master Duel. So why do we care about this? Well, there's a lot of things we can do, but first of all, we're gonna have to talk about this. Jesus, Halcdon is such a pain. Lendoga, you have no idea how much I fucking hate it. So before, I was kind of like neutral on Halcdon because I made a Halcdon deck, and I made a deck profile on it. It's a bad deck profile, don't watch it. It's the Exosister Punks, and because they made Exosisters somewhat playable, I like them. But I played against like 3 Halcdon decks in a row trying to play suboptimal fluffles. I lost like 9 times in a row. I hate it because I don't like crafting Legacy pack SRs and URs. True, because the pull rates and the number of cards per pack in Legacies are terrible. You are correct, my friend. Konami's probably never going to address this. Like, the crafting system in Duel Links, this is what it's going to be. This is its equivalent in Master Duel. Honestly. right? And I pulled like no joke, no scam, like 1,000 packs of legacy stuff, and I did not pull a single penguin card. It was dumb, I'm telling you. So I get it, right? And I have like in the double digits copies of some ultra rares. It's stupid, really. Konami fixed that, but you probably aren't. So you know what? I'm gonna have to live with it, right? But basically, I did it before Sword Soul, and the last event was awful. Yeah, Halcyon just makes decks really boring. That's what I've realized. Like, if you put a tuner in the deck, then literally you can make like 3 negate boards plus the sus or something, like Colossus. Ah, man, Colossus being unlimited is not great. Hello. Yeah. I lost like 9 matches in a row, and I threw, man. It was fucking awful. But hopefully, one second. Yeah, but basically, we're getting some new stuff that I should actually start covering. Now, in my video where I talked about like the the structure deck leaks for the new events, right? Which I'll talk about later. I talked about this very briefly, but it isn't. I didn't really cover it well. Basically, this thing over here. If you synchro summon another worm, you can draw one, which is nice. If you make this first and then you do your Sword Soul stuff, you can basically go like really far in plussing. Like just using Mo Ye into Chijiao is already a +2, but making Qixing Longwan, right? So you make that, you're basically going -1. Not only are you going to go +2, which gets you back to +1, you're also going to get another +1 off of the Qixing Longwan Sword Soul. So yeah, making Colossus with my small world in Witchcraft deck is funny. Oh wait, that makes sense. Wait, that's 5-head. If you just banish something to bridge to Archnemesis something, and then you just summon the Nemesis corridor. Yeah. Oh, that's actually 5-head. What the fuck? AO based, might I say? In Witchcrafters, I can accept it, because Witchcrafters are genuinely like fun to play against half of the time. The other half of the time, when they have floodgates, it's dumb. Maybe it is, but fighting against Witchcrafters is also pain. I mean, if you're both playing grindy decks, then it's fun. If you're playing a deck that's really gassed up, it sucks. So there's that. I played against Witchcrafters when I was playing Dino so pretty much it just really depends matchup wise, is basically what I'm trying to say. But to explain why this card's really good, other than the whole +1/+2 shit I just mentioned, basically it burns. It burns, so you can burn for 2400 off of this, and if you synchro summon it using the regular long one, right? Because this is like the evil long one, it's the powered up version. If you use regular long one to synchro summon into this dude, you basically can burn for like basically half your opponent's life points, which really does matter in some games, and makes Draco Berserker just that much better. At least that's in theory, right? And it can also, when your opponent activates a spell or trap, banish that thing, and does the exact same thing when your opponent, I believe, summons a monster? Let's see. If your opponent special summons a monster, yeah. So basically, either if your opponent wants to get link material, you can just get rid of that, right? If your opponent gets a monster that they need to be on the field to resolve, you can get rid of that. And if your opponent basically, if your opponent has continuous spells or traps and really relies on them, this thing fucks them over hardcore, because again, if they activate a spell or trap, you can banish it. And continuous spells and traps, and I think field spells too, need to be on the field on resolution in order to actually resolve their effects. So DDD's dead. DD dead. The adventure engine primarily dead. But yeah, lol, Witchcrafters tier 90, can't wait for the fusion monster. What does the fusion monster do? Wait, there's a fusion monster? Ayo? Did that come out recently? Dare I say, that sounds really stupid. I love it. Let's look up Witchcrafters. Christ, that sounds funny. Okay, it'll be one of these. Vice Master. Okay, I'm gonna look it up separately. Witchcrafter. Okay, I misspelled that. Bear my slow typing. Witchcrafter Vice Master. It's not even in TCG. Oh, it's probably like attack. It's probably like, oh yeah, probably. Yeah, the OCG's hella ahead. It's like 2 years ahead. Okay, Vice Master. Let's see. It needs a Witchcraft plus Spellcaster. Okay, it's somewhat generic. That's Pog. When a non-fusion Spellcaster monster's effect or spell card effect is activated, you can activate one of these effects and only one of these per turn. Either pop a card, special summon level 6 or lower Witchcrafter from hand or deck. Okay, you can you summon Vera from this? No, you can't. Never mind. Add a Witchcrafter spell trap from grave to hand. That's pretty good. That sounds pretty nice for the archetype and what it does. Wait, one second. Let me open this in a new tab for anyone who couldn't see it well. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down mainly and move. How do I show this well? I'm gonna move my camera up here. Enjoy my beautiful visage, people. Basically what this does is if you do literally anything when it comes to Witchcrafters, you can either pop a card on field, you can summon a level 6 or lower Witchcrafter from deck, which is pretty nice, or from hand if you already have him there, and if you'd rather do that. Or you could recycle or yoink a spell trap from Witchcrafters from your graveyard to hand. So if you already have Vera on field, you can just refuel your shit, which is pretty nice. I like that. That's a good card, just in general. It feels sort of balanced too, which I guess isn't what you'd like in the current game, but it is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, so I went over why this card's good. The best part is her effect activates in the end phase when your spells float. Wait, that's fucking nuts. Wait, that's end phase? Wait. Okay, no, it's not in end phase, but you can use it in end phase. It doesn't say it activates in end phase. Hold up. Am I tripping? It doesn't really say that, Alexandria, so I'm not really sure what you're on about, but point being, this card's good. If you play anything that uses level 10 synchros, Virtual Worlds can use this and genuinely like succeed with it. Playing Adventure 10 years, like let's look at the top decks currently. No, I meant like It's Always Life. True. That's very true. Yeah. And so the resource loops is fucking nuts. But basically, if you're playing literally like if you're playing Adventure 10E, if you're playing Virtual World, Adventure Combo, Sortal 10E, so that's like 4 of how many decks here? How many decks are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4 out of 11 decks. They can use this card. So no, you're right. I'm just saying It's Always Life. It sounds really good just for helping the archetype do anything it really needs to, and it's for both turns. I feel like they made the special summon level 6 or lower so you can't summon Madame Vera. Yeah, I think so too. Because if you could summon a free negate on the field, that sounds a bit bonkers, genuinely. So, anyways, this thing can be used in 4 out of the current tier decks. Currently, Adventure Combo is about to fall off, but if you'd like to, you could. It's genuinely like a possible option. Other than that, we also have some more cards that they're highlighting. Let's go over the least powerful in my opinion, and that would be Blue Eyes. I'm not a Blue Eyes player, caution. I am not good with Blue Eyes, so I wouldn't know whether this is good or not, but I would genuinely be interested in building Blue Eyes. That just feels like a fun deck, so they might be better now. The branded engine will certainly help Blue Eyes, so if you want to increase the power of your Blue Eyes, then you should pay attention later, because I'm going to go over some pretty good Kaiba Jet. Yeah, I feel like they just took the Kaiba Core Jet and made it into a card. Just a little bit of a flex, you know? If it's there in real life, it's got to be immortalized in cardboard, man. That's all it really is, Lendoga. We have a couple more cards. Let's go over the other thing that isn't as important, but is still worth mentioning. And that is the Zombie Vampire. So the Zombie Vampire, what's really neat about this somewhat? Blue Eyes White Dragoon. Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yeah, Blue Eyes is not that great of a deck. It's only seen some competitive play in like the TCG a little bit. But because it's Blue Eyes, it's basically Kaiba Core and also Konami's love child. Like, they love the shit out of Blue Eyes. They're gonna give it support very often. But yeah, this is more bricks in your bricks. The bricks you're gonna be bricked up. Take that phrase out of context or something, I don't know. But yeah, this isn't just basically an alternative to like alternative. No, that's redundant. Yeah, it summons from grave. I believe you could just use this to spam rank 8s. I don't know. I'm not paying attention to it. I don't want to read. I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player. This review is coming out. It's a generic. And basically, if you use a monster with a level that is owned by your opponent, okay, this is like vampire stuff. Do not care about that. If you yoinked your opponent's monster, basically, you can treat it as a level 8 for the summon. Basically, you cannot target this with the effect of special summon monsters, except those from the grave. You can detach a material and send the top 4 cards from the deck to the graveyard. both players. So basically you meal the top 4 cards, and this could be good or could be shit. This could be good in tournament play, where if you know your opponent's playing a deck that's top deck heavy or something like Adamantipator, or if it's a deck that does not like having their cards sent from deck to graveyard without like a purpose, this could be really good. But otherwise, it's like a very weird double-edged sword. If you're playing against Shaddolls, then you're kind of giving them advantage. If you're playing against the weird Lightsworn player, you're giving them advantage. But this seems pretty okay so far, right? That's at least how I think about it, but let me know what you guys think about it. And then the most important part, which is the branded stuff. So I guess I have to go over this now again. I think I've gone over what the branded stuff does, like a lot. But this is a really balanced boss monster. To explain why this is really good, it's very splashable. Basically, you can send a monster that mentions Albaz as material from extra deck to graveyard quick effect to non-targeting banish any monster on the field, I believe, which is pretty neat. But you cannot use this thing the turn immediately after, but that doesn't matter because you're not really going to use it on your turn most of the time, right? So that's somewhat balanced, at least I think. It feels pretty fair. It also has a really good effect when it's removed in any way, shape, or form. Your opponent literally touches the Ice Blade Dragon, he's gonna go fucking ape mode, where if he's put out of the field, just leave the field. Your opponent's entire monster section will be Raigeki'd during end phase. And this is really important during end phase. Now, the reason why this is so important is because if your opponent's board gets nuked immediately instead of during end phase, if they have follow-up, if they have extenders, if they have stuff in their hand, they could just rebuild that, right? Even if it's a weaker board, they could still do that. However, I code Simo. However, if they already have a board, right? I mean, look, if it's during end phase, that means it doesn't matter what your opponent does. If they build the rest of their board, it's going to be nuked in end phase anyways. So if they do have protection for it, like let's say Sun Avalon Sowing, that's great. But likely, they will not. So this really sucks, which means they have to respond to it. So this thing sucks up negates like crazy. It's really powerful for that reason alone. It sucks up disruption, it's disruption itself, it's somewhat balanced, and it's got a pretty big stat line. It's basically Blue Eyes White Dragon in a sense. So it's really powerful, but what makes this even better are the cards that are coming with it. So basically, we're getting a broken ass fusion spell. Oh boy, have you heard of stupid fusion spells before? Bet you haven't. This is a certified Konami moment, certified Shaddol moment. But basically, this thing allows you to summon this dude basically, or any monster that uses Albaz as material, by sending them from hand, field, or graveyard. I can only use 2 monsters though, and you can only special summon fusions for the entirety of the turn that you use this. However, this restriction is actually only applied if you're using the spell. If you have, let's say, Verte, it bypasses that restriction. I learned the hard way when I uploaded a clip. It got like 1,000 views. It's one of my better performing videos where I said this thing cannot be Verted, but that's a fucking lie. So Verte bypasses the restriction where you cannot summon things except fusions for the turn that you use this. So essentially, you can treat this as if it's a better DPE, right? Would you rather have a card that could nuke your entire opponent's board if they even do so much as touch it? And also can just quick effect remove stuff, and with its quick effect removal, it can also add things back to your side of the field during end phase? Or would you have something that does come every other turn and it's more grindy, but it's just less explosive? Mirror Jade is just power crept ice DPE because of how stupid broken this fusion spell is. That's the crux of it, and there's a whole lot of stuff you could do with this engine, right? Again, you could Verte with it, you could just hard use the fusion spell. You could play a deck that's purely focused on using branded fusion. You could play a deck that is synergistic with it. If it's a fusion deck, it would love to see branded fusion. But really, yeah. Do you think this will ban Verte? I'm not entirely sure, because let's think about it this way. Master Duel is Konami's playground. It's also Konami's TCG version of Duel Links. If people use it, they will ban it, probably. Like, you see what happened in the Duelist Cup, right? People used VFD way too much. It got banned then. Similarly, if you look at Duel Links, if people abuse the shit out of something like Invoked Casitas, which is powerful in Duel Links, they will ban it. So if they abuse the shit out of Branded Fusion in the new Duelist Cup, which will happen probably end of the year, they will ban this. Not because of interactions, but if people abuse those interactions. Think of it as the same thing as Rongo. Konami didn't ban Rongo, most likely because they just didn't see it being used. So therefore, it's not that much of a problem if you never face it. Of course, if you do, it sucks. But regardless, even it is toxic though. People were complaining about it, so they did hit it. But it's not like a really overused thing. Plus, Gossip Shadow is used in Virtual Worlds. I don't know why, but it is. So they're kind of hitting both Virtual Worlds, which was overused to all hell, and Phantom Knights inadvertently, which didn't do as much as Virtual Worlds did. So answer is no. Probably not. So yeah, pretty much this is really good to use with Verte. I'd say still keep your Vertes, honestly, because you can only have one anyways, realistically. But yeah, pretty much that's like the basic gist of the branded engine. Of course, there's so much more to talk about. I have a video. I am plugging the shit out of it right now. Go watch that video, like right now. It is up on my channel. I uploaded it a while ago. The thumbnail has Verte on it, so go check it out for sure. It's let me lower BGM just a bit. Okay, yeah, but check it out pretty much. Gossip Shadow is for Nibiru protection. GW is? No way it's Nibiru protection. Have I read Gossip Shadow? I had no clue. What the fuck? Ayo, Virtual Worlds or Sprite? Are they the same deck now? Christ. Okay. Gossip Shadow. Then it makes a lot more sense because then they probably banned this for VW, right? Because things like Nibiru, things like spell traps like Lightning Storm or Dark Ruler, they're really good and they're in the game because going second, right? So if this prevents your opponent from really obliterating you going second, then I feel like they would try hit Virtual World as much as possible. Like Calamities and Gossip Shadow? Christ. Okay, hold up. Let's see. Oh, I see. Gossip Shadow's Interruption. I didn't know that. It turns Nibiru. Yeah, I just noticed Alexandria. Christ. I did not know that. Ayo. This is part of a genuine end board. This is stupid. I like it. Bruh. Kekwe? Kekwe? Yeah, that's funny as hell. That honestly feels kind of based. Honestly. So I guess it makes sense why they banned Gossip Shadow. With that knowledge, I had no clue when I played Virtual World, so well, that's my bad, I suppose. But yeah, that's pretty much the crux of this pack and why it is so good. Because, well, branded. That's really it. That's all I have to really talk about. But there are some things you people should know about, right? Got VW since like 3 months, but I'm just too lazy to learn the combos and play it. Learning the combos is not a good idea to play Virtual Worlds. That sounds really unintuitive, but to explain, you just use what you have. If you have shit, if you have monsters in your hands and stuff, use them. That's it. There's no like one combo line because there's so many different ones. Just put shit on the field, make some synchro monsters, and then see what you can do with there. Like you're originally with VFD. If you can put 2 level 9 synchros on the field, that's it. That's your entire plan. The new plan for Virtual Worlds, I think, is either shit. What are people doing with Virtual Worlds now? I don't know what they're doing with Virtual World now. Because they can make Caliga, which is a floodgate, by using the synchro monster. So that's definitely possible. But what else are Virtual Worlds doing? So this was very recent. Yeah, so what do they play? So like, what's the win condition? I believe Pyren and Beatrice are part of the win condition. Yeah, Beatrice, let's you get your adventure stuff off. And Pyren? It's just an extender, right? Yeah, that's just an extender. It is also a big fat monster. Big fat body. Kind of thick, not gonna lie. He's got the booty, not gonna lie. So there's that. But otherwise, yeah, this feels just slightly watered down. Again, snow. Wait, what the fuck? Ayo, what the? That's kind of yucky. It's kind of icky. I don't like snow. It's unfun. But you know what? Whatever works is whatever works, I suppose. But damn, that's kind of spicy. However, again, I was going to talk about it. I forgot to go into that tangent, but there's something that you guys should know when it comes to the future. And there's some cards that I think should be put up in Master Duel with this new update that I don't think Master Duel has actually like this website, Master Duel Meta. They have not mentioned it. So I'm talking about the punks. And if you don't know what the punks are, they're basically a psychic based, they're psychics and something else I don't really remember. But they're basically just a really good synchro and fusion pile, right? But there's some things that you should know about it, right? So first of all, let me enable card hovers so it's a lot easier to understand. But basically, this is an archetype that you can use emergency teleport with. She's summonable, this dude's summonable. Not this, but this can be rotated, right? Not this, not that, but all the low level ones can be tutored out of the deck with the emergency teleport. And specifically Xiamen, if you either draw Xiamen, or if you draw Foxy Tune, which can discard a card to summon it from deck directly, or if you draw emergency teleport, is Halcdon. It is Halcdon. So it is already like a good engine, since it's very easy to put in the deck, as long as you have space for emergency teleport, right? But they're about to get stronger. The reason why is because now, basically a credit card. I suppose. I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to with the credit card thing, Fairchild. I'm kind of, again, I'm a bit of a ditz, I'm a bit of an airhead, I'm a bit of a baka, little sus if you ask me. So you're gonna have to remind me what you were talking about there. But basically, this is over here a really, really potent engine, right? And we're gonna get probably Deer Note really soon, because we're trying to, if we're gonna go by the pack releases, right? So in the TCG, for Master Duel players who don't know, we have sets that release. And with these selection packs, we are finishing off a very particular set and structure deck that released in the TCG, which contains the Yaobass cards, as well as Battles of Chaos, right? I believe that's where Sinister, Sword, Soul, Sovereign, Xijing Longwan set release. This was released in Battles of Chaos, yeah. So the Battles of Chaos set, which is what we're trying to finish off right now, is basically what we have to finish off. Okay, I wish Marincess would come out first. Why would Konami have to make me wait? I do feel you on that statement, Libra, but I am a bit of a dude who just grinds for decks and makes... I have like 5 alts for Master Duel right now, so I have new fun to have regardless, but I play Marincess. I really feel you. I really want the Coral Triangle to come out to search for Wave. I really want the other card that negates spells and traps, the Argonaut. I want Spring Girl. I want all that, so I understand. And I also want to try out Ice Jade Marincess. They sound like a really dank deck, honestly. So I'd look forward to that in the future potentially. So yeah, your feelings are shared, Libra, alongside Lendoga and I. But going back to it, right? So the Battles of Chaos pack in in the TCG, right? The cards that came out in that pack are from Invincible Raid, which contained like half of those packs, and the other half will be in this new pack. That's basically what it is. And part of those new packs, part of those new cards, will be this card, which is very powerful. Barako is the Eggman meme. I don't know which meme you're talking about. I am uncultured. I am sorry about that. But this is a card you have to really worry about, or really keep your eyes out about. Punk Deer Note. This thing is searchable off of the Xiamen. It can basically reveal another punk in your hand and special summon it. So if you're playing a lot more punks in your deck, like if you're playing maybe a half between punks and a different deck, or if you're playing pure punks, then this thing becomes really powerful. It can either summon the card you revealed in hand or itself, and also it is able to, when sent from field to graveyard, target a punk in grave and special summon it. Yeah, but basically you would like to use this to extend, and it's a level 5. And what's important is that it's level 5, and all of these guys that you summon from the deck, that you tutor out with either the Foxy Tune or with the copy of Emergency Teleport, they're all level 3 tuners, which means you can make level 8 synchros. So level 8 synchros, that's like the best level possible to synchros. And what people summon most often are Chaos Ruler. So yeah, Chaos Ruler right here. Chaos Ruler, he basically mills the top 5 cards of your deck, really good in Chaos decks. So I'm expecting Punk to maybe become an engine in Dragon Link. It's the, you fool, I have over 700 alternate accounts, Dr. Eggman. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh wait, I think I've never seen that meme before. Christ, I'm uncultured, man. Yeah, oh yeah, that one's great, also great. Yeah, so basically, Dragon Link decks might lose out on the rockets, but they might be able to turbo out into the more chaos shenanigans. Chaos decks, pile decks that use Halcdon now have another backdoor play. And in general, things just get a lot more crazy, a lot more unga bunga. And speaking of Salamangreats, I actually do have a friend who got into Master Duel relatively recently, right? Like a few days ago. And the first deck that they wanted to build was Salamangreats. So I do want to check Salamangreats out too at some point. I know that one of their plays is to make Baguska pass. So there's that, of course. And I also lost to them because I was playing Dinomorbius, and I had 2 little life points. Oh, hi. Hello, Daniel Avocado. It is nice to see you here. I assume you came for my story, you know? You're not going to understand a single second of what I'm going to say because estoy hablando en inglés solamente en este directo. Lo siento, Daniel. Lo siento. Es sobre de Yu-Gi-Oh! Este directo. Alright. For those of you who did not understand, I am speaking less Spanish. My friend who is Spanish has come in and does not know much English relatively. So yeah, they usually don't make Baguska pass in salads. I mean, that's not a normal play, but it's something I definitely do because I play Pen Magicians, and assuming that Pen Magician and salads have anything in common, it's that, oh shit, I can't do anything, Baguska pass. At least from the videos I've seen on YouTube of people playing salads. Wait until the structure deck comes out, lol. Probably. Like, dude, you know what's so tragic? On one of my alts, I made Dragon Maids, and this is pre-structure deck. So the structure deck came out, and while everyone was cheering, like, let's go, waifus of real play, I was super bummed out because I was like, well, fuck me, man. Are you kidding me? I spent like 3 hours building this deck. God damn. So, you know, that's something funny for sure. But yeah, people, the Punk engine will probably come out in this pack, and if not, for some reason, if it does not finish in this new pack, it will come out in the month of October. Konami better give us some good structure decks because Dragon Maids were awesome. True. I will argue that the Pendulum Magician structure deck is great for Pendulum Magicians because, again, I built them. They're a super fun deck. I really like combo decks in general, like combo decks that are non-linear, even though the deck really is just Electromite and Astrograph loop those effects, really. But basically, that was a really good structure deck. So I'd argue it's on the same level as Dragon Maids, but because Dragon Maids are much more popular, and they did also give us the best mate in Yu-Gi-Oh! History, possibly, to support it. Yeah, I'd see why people think it's awesome, because it is. It was a really fucking good pack. It was, genuinely. But yeah, expect to see Punks come out more. And now, because everyone, whenever a new pack comes out or stuff like that, they're like, oh, what's coming next? Right? For some reason, they just don't want to settle in with things. I got you, homeboys. So, other than the Marincess stuff, there's another type of, there's another set. I think it's Dimension Force in the TCG that you need to look out for. It's Dimension Force, I think. So that is something you really need to keep your eyes out for a very specific archetype called Therians. If you know your Albaz lore, you'll know what these guys are. But if it loads, of course, basically they're a splashable Omni-Negate package, not engine, it's package. I'm guessing the Link event is coming. I keep hearing about it, that it may come out soon. I don't know about that. I think the Link event will come out in October. I think it will. Because that, or they're going to make a mixed event. So there's a couple things I'm thinking here. Either they're going to make a mixed event with links and something else. Like they'll do Link Fusion and then Xyz Synchro soon after or something like that. Because if you guys remember the leaks from a while ago, basically what they had said was they had a bunch of structure decks. And in these structure decks, they gave a couple IDs. And we found out that later, these IDs were for a couple of important structure decks that include Sword Soul and Ghost Tricks. And also this. So basically, Xyz, also Xyz, and Synchro. But what exactly are we doing with these? We aren't really going to have reruns of the same events, right? So what people are thinking is that they're going to mix events like Xyz Synchro, Pendulum Xyz, or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, yes, Therian ABC Dragon, let's go! ABC sounds super base, but they're really struggling because of Dragon Buster being limited to 1, I believe, in Master Duel. And that really sucks for the deck. So hopefully Therians do good, but I didn't even finish that sub-tension I was talking about. Why do people need to worry about Therians? So it's not loading, so I'm going to look them up instead. There's 2 cards you really need to care about. We have Therians King Regulus and Therians Lily Borea and Therians, and there's a very specific thing over here. I believe it's this. It's a very specific package of cards. We'll have to wait for the text to increase in resolution. But these are the cards you need to have. Alright, have a good one. Hey, it was nice to see you here, Libra. Thanks for swinging by. Have a good one too. You know, have a great rest of the day. And maybe pop into the VOD if you want to catch the rest of this and understand this stuff. But if you want to. But let me load up some of these cards for the people who aren't aware as to what Therians do. And let me explain them. So again, this is to the best of my ability, because I think I understand what the Therians do. Right? There's a lot of words that's very scary for some of us Yu-Gi-Oh players, including me, my dumbass. But okay, I'm gonna open this in a new tab, and then open that in a new tab, and open you in a new tab. So let's look at Therians King Regulus first. What is this, and why is this something you need to care about? It is a level 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, level 8. Wow, level 8's a very important level, to be honest. Machine Earth. Therians King. Are you going to make another engine video for Therians? I want to splash in appliancers. Appliancers based! I'm gonna probably make a Therians video, but not until like October, November, because it wouldn't get views like right now. It would be much more appropriate to make them later, but I will talk about them. And I don't think they're as much of an engine as they are a package, which is like just 2 cards that enable... Okay, I have another sub-rant about the game state and how the game works, but let's talk about the difference between packages and engines real quick before we continue on to these. So I'll just go into the camera and zoom in. So people throw around the terms engines, and people throw around the terms packages. What are the differences? Well, the way I see it is that engines are... Okay, 1 second. Let's talk about packages first, because they're very simple. Packages are a couple extra cards, and what these are things that a deck can already inherently access. They're also just parts of an end board that you could possibly assemble. Like, for example, the Unicorn Access Code package. It's something that almost any deck can make, as long as they can put a bunch of monsters, and if they can put another one, they can make access code, right? But let's take an engine. Let's take Alistair. Let's take the Invoked Engine, right? Not every deck can make Mechaba. They need to play cards like Alistair to do so. It's something completely unique. So what an engine is basically a set of cards that enable things a deck could not do before, and or possibly helps, you know, increase that. And they're also generally larger, right? And they're like a separate moving component to a deck. But a package is kind of like an end board. It's something that you can natively access. It's basically natively accessed versus non-natively. I have used them. I have seen them used interchangeably, but realistically, again, they could be interchanged because you could have Hulk Halcororodon as a package, or you could have Punks plus Halcdon as an engine. So that's also something, because like if a deck doesn't have any tuners, right? Like for example, Exosisters, the Punk engine is perfect. But for other decks that can already access tuners really well, you can also use the Halcdon. But at some point, because you're running so many cards to make Halcdon used well, maybe you could call that an engine. So there's a lot of different things. Like you can technically not use Halcdon to its full potential unless you run things like Creation Resonator or Cupid Pitch, right? And a bunch of other cards in the main deck. So that's also something you could talk about too. So really you have to put a lot of distinctions there. But what it boils down to, in my opinion at least, is that a package is something a deck can natively access and is also somewhat smaller. But an engine are a whole collection of cards that open up completely different lines of play that a deck could not access before, or help make plays, certain plays easier, and are generally larger. So now that I've done my little rant there, that'll probably become a short, let's talk about Therians. So basically, all the Therians, one second, let me put myself up here. The art's beautiful, but I'm even more beautiful. Suck it, catch W. But basically, all the Therians are like have this sort of gimmick of equipping stuff, right? So this says over here, you can target a Therians monster or machine in your graveyard, special summon Regulus, and then equip the monster that you targeted in the graveyard to this card. Now, important thing to understand is that all the Therians have different typings. For example, Lily Borea, if I have to zoom into Lily Borea, is a plant. She can do the same thing by targeting Therians or a plant in the graveyard, summoning herself, and then equipping it to her, right? So all the Therians have this common clause. So that's the whole gimmick, right? And then, also, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can send a Therians card from your hand or field to the graveyard, negate that effect when Regulus is on the field, and that's once per turn. However, if a Therians is equipped with Regulus, they can use this negate. So if you have something equipped with Regulus, and that something is a Therians, you can send Therians Regulus to the graveyard to act as the negate. So basically that's the whole thing with this. But how do you access that? Well, you use Lily Borea, and what Lily Borea is you can run her with a bunch of plants, I believe. Basically, of course, you can go ahead and summon it to your side of the field, but basically, you want to get Lily in your hand and Regulus in your graveyard. You want to use Lily's effect to target Regulus in the graveyard, summon Lily, and then equip Regulus. You have a negate. That's, at least to my understanding, what it is, right? So yeah, that's basically the Therian stuff. And this card over here, Disc Coliseum, it's a field spell. When it's activated, you can add a Therians monster from deck to hand. So if you can Foolish a card with Beatrice or something, you're gonna probably Foolish Therians Regulus. And if you have access to this, then yeah, you can use them in Small World. You can practically use any deck with Small Worlds, right? But really, you need to get Regulus in the graveyard and Borea in the hand. So if you can do either of those things, that's great. Basically, that's what Therians are. And they're also kind of splashable. It really depends. It's only like, what, a few cards in the main deck? And I believe Sun Avalons use them. And I've made a small short on them. So there's that. But this, if you want to know what's coming up next in Master Duel in the near future, after Branded, after Marincess, this is probably what you have to keep your eye out for in terms of meta. Because this, alongside the card I talked about, the Deer Note, the Punk Extender, if I move myself back down here, the card over here, that, including the Therians, including the Sun Avalons, including a lot of other decks, will come to tiered contention, possibly. So if you want to have, you know, some variance right there, that's something you need to consider. And that's all I really have. Really, I don't have much else to talk about. I did mention in the description that I might be doing some fluffal gaming, but I'm a little tired today. It is almost 10, and I do want to sleep decently, so I will have to conclude this. But it was nice. It was nice. There were a lot of people here today, and remember, if you're here, if you liked what you heard, if you thought you learned something, go ahead and like the video, sub to the channel if you'd want to see more, or at the very least, if you want to get more clarification, then go ahead and check out my other videos. I make guides and stuff. Random person says, do we need to craft all the Despia cards? It really depends. If you want to play the branded engine, then you do not. So basically, for Despia, you don't have to craft like ultra rares, period. You do have to craft this this other fusion though. So let me just get rid of all these. In terms of Despia cards, you want to get triple copies of Allure Boober Duber if you want to run it optimally. You want to get copies of Branded Opening, which is normal, so that's fine. A couple copies of this, and those are all, and a couple copies of this. So really, three super rares, more like six super rares. So Allure Boober, Branded Opening, you'd need those, and you would also need Mirrodade, which is coming soon, which I talked about. You would also need copies of Branded Fusion, which may or may not be really, really expensive. And you also need copies of Albion and Verte. So you don't have to craft the Despia cards per se to play the Branded engine. Not many, but you do need other cards that are somewhat related lore-wise to Despia. So yeah, depending on how things fold out in the game, where we find out whether Branded Fusion is an ultra rare, most likely, or if it's a super, which would be way too broken, honestly, we can tell then. But I would say no, you don't have to craft Despia cards, but you will have to craft a bunch of other stuff, right? If you don't have Verte, craft that for sure. Otherwise, oh, and if you don't have Guardian Chimera and you want to play Despia, or if you want to play Branded, then Guardian Chimera is really good, especially if you want to build a bigger portion of this, because like the Branded engine can be made as like a 3 card engine or like 4 card engine in the main deck, or you can make it a like 20 card engine. So really speaking, you could do it either way, and I have a video for that. I talked about it. I'm gonna go to my channel real quick and just plug that video real quick. If you guys have not seen that, ignore the homepage. Oh, what the fuck? You know what? I think that's the time I should leave. I heard some rumors about the structure deck Fallen Babas coming. Yes, it is true. I will have to leave soon though,